Hello and welcome back to Europa Universalis 4. I am Lord Forwind, here playing as the mighty triumphant Venetian Empire. Look at us. Venice, 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 Venice. Even a little Venice down there. We just clobbered the Ottomans in the last war. We stole quite a bit of development from them. It was amazing. I stopped right at the end. We have lots of coring to do. We are overextended. We also have no absolutism, but there's not much I can do on that fact, considering we still have 4 reforms to go, mainly because we've been expanding so much. We're going to be suffering quite a few rebel issues here. We also need to rebuild our navy, which got clobbered in that fight. We're still technically in another war. Not that I'm not worried about it. It's versus Mali. Great Britain is on it, as is Spain. Spain is really strong. Problem solved. Yeah, so Navy needs to be rebuilt. So let's check out what we have for ships. We could use some heavy ships. We could use quite a few more transport ships. We want to get up to at least 30, 35. Maybe I'll just go all the way to 40. And then we also need a lot more galleys and stuff. So let's train some of those. Okay. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40. And that is over our limit. Obviously, we don't care that much about it, so... That ought to be good there, and then we'll do 4 there. Okay, so our fleet is going to be rebuilding. We're also going to have to upgrade at some point. I am going to fire the naval commander, though, because he's over our force limit, and the army is much more useful, especially after the defeat of the Ottoman Navy, which pretty much means there's not really any enemies. Apparently, Great Britain just beat up Holland. Stole those 2 provinces, I guess. Palmero right here that we stole is almost converted. Is Protestant already, which is cool. We can embrace the institution of manufactories already, because we're getting 8 of it per month. Would probably be the first to do so. I don't know if it's worth it. We're getting it really fast in a couple more provinces. I think we'll wait. There's no advantage particularly to being first, so... There we go, Lubeck embraced it. That's fine with me. I'd just prefer to get more, save the money. We still have an exiled army. Why aren't you marching north? There we go. We, of course, have maxed out our mercenary limit at 74 regiments, so yeah, there's that. I can't lose Defender of the Faith before I refuse a call to arms, can I? No. Lovely. I would love right now to lose Defender of the Faith. I don't want to be called to any other wars. Palmero is under control. Okay. Create the Accademia della Giudecca. Okay. I gotta read this. The impoverished Banaboti remain a big problem for our political system. Part of the problem seems to be that once they have lost everything, these nobles are unlikely to rise again. If we could provide some means for them to restore the former glories of their family, they might once again become productive members of society. Doing that, however, is not popular among those who would rather rely on their bought votes or would fear more competition. Recently, a relatively harmless proposition was put forward, however, a school that could be created for the children of the nobles to ensure they're giving a proper education that their parents might not be able to afford. This would allow at least a few select of them to rise above their original status and do useful things to the state again. We'll do that. Yearly Republican tradition. It should balance out the Barnabotti, I guess is how you say it. We actually have quite a lot of Republican tradition income. If only we weren't stuck with their sortition government. Speaking of which, this guy has been ruling for quite a while now. We'll harsh treat you. Actually, we'll get some absolutism out of that. We have enough universities. We do not have enough trade companies at the moment, so I should probably check up on buying more trade lands. South African Charter and all that. The Pope has bought land over here. Oh, we're still at war, so we can't do anything. Apparently Mali is really winning this war, which is kind of funny considering they're fighting pretty much most of the great powers in the game. But no one has military access or really maps through the region, which is hilarious. Maybe I can buy maps and that would help. Niger region? No, I have no units in a region adjacent to this one. Great. Yeah, I don't think I can buy any of these. Having a unit in the nearby region is a bit frustrating, at least to my mind. We'll negotiate. Macedonia has been converted. Moderne has been converted. Protestantism is spreading. Good. The Ottomans have 53% of the trade power, we have 40% of the trade power. So the point where I had, what, like 78% of the trade power might have just been a temporary fluke. Or so it would seem. Because the Ottomans have recovered rather rapidly. We do have to upgrade the centers of trade port things that we stole. Really looking to doing that. I think that's worth embracing there. Goods produced 10%, so that should be another boost to our income. Yep, 8 gold. Obviously that's down slightly because we have uncored land. Once it's cored, it'll boost up our trade power again. Oh, we're still coring Constantinople. Okay. Good shape. Can we do... Let's just upgrade these centers of trade before I forget. Oh, I can't do that because it's not a core. I can't do that because it's not a core. Great. Always forget that's the case. We do own Benghazi over here. I don't think it's worth upgrading right now. We could attack the Ottomans again in 14 years or 12 years. 12 years, give or take a couple months. Unfortunately, Poland's getting clobbered by Muscovy. Although Denmark and Sweden should be helping, but Sweden is still rebellious. Another harsh treatment. Really just need another little bit of power here to reduce. There we go. By and large, we're stable now. When is our next parliamentary election? Okay, next April. That's fine. This war against Mali is still raging on. Looks like Britain has managed to make it back to Mali. What was the war over? Oh, right there. Well, assuming they march in and occupy it, which they're not. Okay. I'm just gonna watch that war. It should work out on its own. It's a little bit annoying that it's costing me income though, or the ability to form another trade company. But what can you do? We'll move you up to there. Next time I can use that to overrun most of this region. Although it does have forts. Still, Ottomans are weaker than they were. Only have 2 allies rather than like 6 or 7. Obviously, we'll still need to kill Aragon at some point. But at this point, I think it's worth just mainly focusing on trying to get the achievement, and then I can always work my way back. Also, I can do this Carthago delenda est, die. I just have to devastate all the Tunisia region provinces. Not particularly hard. 10 provinces. We have enough trade power in Alexandria. Obviously, we don't have 10 provinces. We have 86. I'm going to have to release or find a way to get rid of 76 provinces. That might not be doable. Of course, you can get this achievement just doing it just beating the Ottomans early game and forcing trade transfers, but I kind of wanted to explore the nation government, which has turned out to be amazing. I think it might be my favorite form of government in some ways, at least with the roles I've been getting from monarchs. Obviously, it could go the other way. You start getting really bad roles and it cripples you. But I think it's overtaken the Mamelukes as one of my favorite governments. Oh yeah, debate in the Great Council. We will do Charter Trade Company, diplomatic supports, sides in Parliament, military support, and an army commission. And we will send you to here. Pretty much just send somebody to a position that we already had a merchant in a while back. I'm gonna have to boost the aristocrats again. Ugh. And we're gonna have to harsh treat Sunni zealots. At least we'll get some absolutism out of the whole mess. Do what you can. There we go. And I need to... I still can't core that. Okay. I'm not entirely sure why I can't convert Constantinople. Maybe it's too developed. It's a territory first all, then non-accepted culture, then development. Okay. Well, we know for a matter of fact that Constantinople has to become a territory. That really does hurt our tradition. However, I should now be able to throw on Protect Religious Unity, which should make it so I can convert it. Yes. 128 months. I can also shift this to Missionary Strength for now. That should speed it up slightly. You can get some pretty crazy conversion strength late game, can't you? Once those other ones are done, we'll core them, and that should restore our income back to its magnificently large size. We apparently can get better forts in some of the lands we took, which makes sense. And we will do... Actually, we'll upgrade Constantinople. Oh, we're still at war. There we go. Okay. England lost and had to give land to Denmark. Okay. That's a little annoying. Let's see how much our trade is now that we've got that. 58. Still not enough, but again, until I take the remaining trade provinces from the Ottomans or force them to transfer trade power, would that work? It might. It would be giving me like 18 or so, which should push me up to enough. It's going to be very interesting figuring out how to do this. I'll give you that. I might play around with it a bit off camera just to figure out what I'm doing. We'll boost that, I guess. Radical simple minds, but not to me. Go. That's the other thing I need to do is I need to get mercantilism or mercantilism higher. More people are fighting the Ottomans, which means the Ottomans are probably initiating it. Yep. So since the Ottomans lost land, they're now going to be somewhat more aggressive. I don't know why it always seems to happen, but when the Ottomans lose a war, they almost start a new one within a year or two. In this case, it's been a little bit longer, which means they really got beat up. Still getting like 22 gold from trade. By comparison, 221 for us. Still only 61% of trade here, but 22% there, so could be better. 64 from there, 27 from there. We have quite the trade network funneling money into our nation. Let's see if we can find another charter company to purchase. Hopefully in a different charter region. East India would be ideal. I'd like the Bengal Delta. But no, can't get that. How about that one? Nope. Not you. Base reluctance, province development, other provinces nearby. Does that mean this would be more likely to sell? It's never clear how this works. Okay. Could get that if I had 24,000 gold. Okay, that's a bit less. Let's try improving relations with these guys. I think we can ally them. I don't know how much that would impact buying lands, but I was told that it does, so we'll work on that. And what in the world is Ethiopia doing? Oh, they're marching to attack Malacca, of all people. Weird. Maybe I can buy this province from Ethiopia instead. Okay. Oh, so there's none within a charter region for me. Oh, I can't take that. Could I buy from you guys? Yes. Okay, that would be worth it. 8,000 gold. Unfortunately, not in this trade region. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how I actually get rid of these. I think I can just mainly create trading cities everywhere. But I don't know. As it is, I have to beat the Ottomans again in another war to get enough trade power. So, 8 years, then we'll probably try, unless I can come up with a way to do it in the meantime. We can boost trade efficiency on multiple sides, but we're not going to be able to boost trade power, which is the issue. Really could use a new ruler. It's not so great. Let's put him in charge of a army somewhere. Yeah, we'll put... Oh, can I not do that? Oh, maybe he's already one? He is. He's already an army leader. Okay, I guess I'll make him drill then. Increase all the chances for him dying, I guess. 54, he must have been really young when he came to the throne. And while you could argue that there's no throne here, I'm going to say there is, considering we're an empire that's the largest in the world. I'm pretty sure there's a throne somewhere. Also, Venice was known for its like palaces. We're still building one heavy ship there. But by and large, the fleet has been rebuilt and is in good shape. So, this has to be a core region. This needs to be a core region. Ugh. What other centers of trade do we need control over? There's quite a few up there, too. At least none of Greece counts here. We did steal the biggest trade province, I think, in the game, which is Constantinople. Really could use a couple more of these centers of trade. Or better yet, I could try and release like Bulgaria or something, which would help. Let's ally ourselves to Bengal. Now, can we buy a trade company? Helps if my diplomat returns in the time when I can send him out again. Come on. There we go. Oh, Bengal's at war. Duh. Okay. Another commander. Yeah, we're in good shape there. So, I guess we'll end this here, and I'm going to figure out some way to buy another trade company in the meantime. That way we can get stuff going here. I'd like to get a multicultural nation. Oh, I can. Good. That will get me 2. If I get that other one, we can hit a golden era, which will give us bonuses. Not any trade bonuses, unfortunately. You know, it might be worth just raising a fleet of like 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 trade ships. Let's create a template. Let's do 40 trade ships. We'll raise them all there. That's going to really hurt our income. I'm aware of that. But if we're going to try and do the whole Venetian Sea, we're going to need a lot of trade power. Besides, over time, naval force limit will go up anyhow. Like right now, it's going to go up. About 1 more. Let's also... Oh, apparently I have nowhere else to build that. Okay. Next level, though, we can do conscription camp, which will boost force limit by 2 when built, so 1 on top of what we already have. Good luck, Bengal. You should win that. I don't know who's fighting in it, but... Oh, it's Delhi and Bengal versus Malwa and Sindh, or other way around. Malwa, Dalwasir, and Transoxana. Yeah, they're gonna lose. Let's take level 3. Constantinople still being converted. Create more career opportunities. Don't really know what else to do at the moment. I guess we'll bring it to an end, and we'll continue next time. Probably another fight with the Ottomans once we can get a war with them, and I will experiment afterwards with trying to get the achievement. So thank you guys all for watching. Bye for now.